What's up, everybody? We're going to go over 38.1 patch notes for PUBG. We're going to start off with this little teaser trailer. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Balance changes for SMGs in the Panzerfaust, some updates to the recall system, and a PvE collaboration flush with interesting enemies.
That's weird.
All this and more as we dive into the update 38.1 patch report. First up, we're doing a balance shuffle for SMGs in the Panzerfaust this update.
What's it going to be?
Across the board, SMGs will have less accurate hip fire, and the MP5K is also seeing a slight reduction in damage.
Interesting.
For the Panzerfaust, players will now be restricted from running, jumping, and vaulting while wielding this powerful weapon.
Wow.
And players inside a
Less
vehicle
mobile.
will be protected a bit, taking reduced damage from its blast. There are a couple more changes as well to make sure there's enough risk to the Panzerfaust's reward. So let us know how these changes feel.
SMG Nerfs. Panzer Nerfs.
Next, the recall system is getting some alterations. Time required to register blue chips beyond the first will now increase by 5 seconds for each additional chip being registered. We've also added information about how many players are returning to the battlegrounds with each recall, and have removed the Phase 6 recall on 8x8 maps. Once again, let us know how these changes feel once you get in-game.
Well,
Next, we're dressing up a bit for spooky season with an arcade mode that gives new meaning to the term crap
when you're recalled that late, a lot of times there's not stuff to loot, so...
shoot. In this collaboration with the popular internet show Skibidi Toilet, you'll assemble your squad of 4 and plunge into this victory against the toilet invasion. Collect chemical cans to upgrade your weaponry and make flushing your enemy that much easier. Can your squad save Bidet? Or will you get wiped and end up number 2? Will this announcer ever run out of crappy puns? Log in and put a lid on the invasion starting October 22nd on PC and October 30th on console.
I don't know about that. That changes.
We've also added destructible terrain to Miramar, which doesn't include building destruction,
Okay.
and updated the pass system to allow for multiple passes at once.
Nice.
This allows us to introduce an event pass tied to the new arcade mode, while still launching a new survivor pass. Now you can work on both at the same time. There's also a new ranked season,
I get it.
destructible gas tanks on Destin, map bug fixes, and more. So be sure to check out the patch notes for full details.
I like the
Update
new
38.1 is here,
smoke.
so recall some friends, aim down the sights of those SMGs, and dump some rounds into the Skibidi toilets.
They want to put you on that ADS and the SMG.
We'll see you on the battlegrounds.
Honestly, the SMG ADSing, the hip fire is kind of what they're supposed to be good at, but I think as far as the ADSing goes, that's a good transition. Because if newer players are going to use SMGs, they're going to practice ADSing, they're going to get better at recoil, then they're going to be able to move to ARs, right? In theory, there's like a transit, there's going to be a path forward to getting them into ARs, or at least mid to late game. Because I mean, even at this point, I'm using SMGs early, but now that hip fire is reduced, we'll see. Shotguns, probably. So we'll go do a quick highlight here. Let's open image a new tab. So we got 38.1 highlights. We got major updates. Hip fire accuracy reduced for SMGs and MP5K damage reduced. Various adjustments to the Panzerfaust. Recall system updates. Blue chip registration time now scales with the number of chips, and Phase 6 recall removed on 8x8 maps. Destructible terrain feature added to Miramar. Various vehicle changes. Limited time PvE mode featuring toilet bait bosses. 4-man squads only. New event pass. Skibidi Toilet launching with the new mode. Toilet invasion starts October 22nd on PC, October 30th on console. Here is the new contender here. Dorian. He's going to have 2 sidekicks. You can kind of see him up here as well. We have a new survivor pass coming, and it looks like there's some hideout stuff. So, at least for the So a couple things here, which we'll get into a little bit more in detail once we kind of go through this here for 38.1. So maintenance is basically tonight I'm on the West Coast, so it'll be tonight. It'll be 8.5 hours. For consoles, it'll be next week. The map service report we'll look at later. Gameplay, vehicle, and special skins. The update 38.1 brings broad adjustments to vehicle and special vehicle skins. A similar level of window tint has been applied to the front and rear windows of base vehicles, matching those of special vehicle skins. So I like that they've added the tint. That's nice. The driving experience has been improved for the following vehicles and special vehicle skins: Dacia Murado Coupe, Good Old Days Sedan, Good Old Days White Sedan. Oh, those are those ones. Okay, so the driving experience has been improved. Interesting. Special vehicle skins. When equipping special vehicle skins, all vehicle windows can now be penetrated by bullets regardless of skin type. I didn't know that they couldn't be penetrated, so is that a bug? All vehicles now share the same wide, consistent, penetrable area of the rear regardless of design. Area of the rear. That's an interesting. I think because the Lamborghini's back window was not like really, couldn't really shoot. Across the vast battlegrounds, vehicles serve as more than just a means of transportation. They are vital strategic elements that can shape the outcome of survival and combat. The PUBG development team has always valued the unique experience and tactical depth that vehicles bring to the game. Special vehicle skins also serve to expand the joy of PUBG. We've collaborated with premium car brands to deliver realistic, immersive experiences that capture the essence of driving within battlegrounds. Throughout the development of special vehicle skins, we have always prioritized maintaining identical driving performance to their base vehicles. We've also worked to maintain balance in vehicle hit areas by allowing penetration based on material type, ensuring that combat remains as fair as possible. However, as more special vehicle skins have been introduced over time, we began to notice that the differences in size and shape are creating slight advantages or disadvantages in actual engagements. An intended outcome that diverged from our original goal of offering purely visual variety. As players' skills and understanding of vehicles have grown, these disparities have become more pronounced, revealing a growing imbalance that can no longer be overlooked. We recognize that adhering solely to our original policy of equal performance was no longer enough to address this issue. Since these discrepancies could directly impact survival and fairness, we saw this as a crucial matter that required fundamental action. Therefore, rather than making adjustments to specific skins, we decided to take a comprehensive look at the entire vehicle system, including previously released vehicles, and make improvements. In this update, we've implemented improvements in two key areas. First, we refined the overall driving experience of base vehicles and adjusted window transparency to make seated players less viable from the outside, narrowing the gameplay gap between base vehicles and special vehicle skins. At the same time, we've adjusted the hit area of special vehicle skins to closely match those of the base vehicles, ensuring a fair and consistent experience regardless of which vehicle or skin players choose. These standards will continue to apply to all future special vehicle skins. We understand that these changes may alter some aspects of the familiar experience, but we believe they are a necessary step forward to maintaining a fair competitive environment. We will continue to listen closely to player feedback and remain committed to creating a more balanced and enjoyable battleground for everyone. As always, appreciate your feedback and thank you for your continued support. I think that's good. I think it's good that they are making the vehicles, like a skin is going to not adjust the visual hitboxes or anything like that. I think that they should handle relatively close to the base vehicles. Recall system. Okay, so recall system. I like that they're adding that. Okay. The registration time on the blue chip tower now scales with the number of blue chips. Each additional chip adds 5 seconds. This guy's got 2 blue chips, so that's 2 different friends, and it's 15 seconds. So the base is 10 seconds, and then 1 is 10 seconds, and then each additional is 5. So 1 is 10, 2 is 15, 3 is 20 seconds to do the back, or blue chip tower, whatever you want to call it. Information regarding players returning to the battleground is now provided through system message and match log. I like it. Some recall related UI messages have been updated. They have comments. Since the recall system was introduced to ranked in esports, it has given eliminated players a second chance and had a significant impact on the overall flow of gameplay. To ease the fatigue that can come from repeated recalls, we are making a few adjustments in this update. With these changes, recalling multiple teammates at once now carries greater risk. Players can also view other teams' recall information, which creates new opportunities for strategic play. In addition, recalls are now limited in the late game so that the feature mainly serves as a recovery option for players eliminated early. We'll continue working to give players more intense and strategic choices in every stage of the match. I actually think this is a good idea. Like I said, after phase 5, so phase 6 onwards, right? So honestly, once the circles start getting so small, it's hard to loot. You have to land on a box. You have to land on a package. It makes it hard. There's usually not many compounds. Miscellaneous. Special zones will no longer spawn outside the playable areas. I believe this means red zone and EMPs from Destin. The playable area restriction message now appears less frequently and at the same rate across all maps and modes. Play area restriction message now appears less frequently and at the same rate across all maps and modes. Okay. Gunplay. This is big. SMGs. Several adjustments have been made to SMGs. Hip fire. The following adjustment applies to all SMGs except the P90. Accuracy reduced by approximately 57%. Initial bullet spread has been increased, resulting in lower accuracy. So that's for hip fire. Right? We saw in the video they were running and they weren't ADSing. Right? ADS is aim down sight. Accuracy during sustained fire reduced by approximately 51.5%. This is for hipfire again, right? So the longer you shoot, the more the accuracy drops. Bullet spread now increases faster during sustained fire, reducing overall firing stability. The longer you shoot, the less accurate it becomes in hipfire, I think. Okay, P90, hipfire accuracy reduced by 28.5% instead of the 57%. I'm okay with this. Accuracy during sustained fire reduced approximately 25.75%. Again, I'm okay with that. The P90 also comes with its sights, so seems fine. I'm okay with this. Again, I said that I think that by not forcing, but like rewarding new players and people that are using SMGs but to ADS, it gives them a path forward to using ARs and starting to learn control in ADSing, because you almost never hipfire with an AR. I mean, you can in certain situations, but most of the time you're ADSing. The MP5K, the go-to for pretty much everybody, is damage has been reduced from 34 to 32, so we now see the MP5K has been nerfed. The Panzerfaust. When wielding the Panzerfaust, sprinting, jumping, and vaulting are unavailable. Players inside vehicle now take 20% less damage when hit by a Panzerfaust. This reduction does not apply to backblast damage. The Panzerfaust sight deployment sound is now louder and can be heard from farther away. Trunk weight is 100 to 130. So, here's what we say. You're now less mobile with the Panzerfaust, so you're not going to be picking it up early and like running and jumping across the corner and blowing up a bunch of people. Right? You're going to be much slower. You're going to be less mobile. Players inside vehicles now take 20% less damage when hit by a Panzerfaust. This reduction does not apply to backblast damage. So, if you are in the car, the backblast, if you shoot your teammate on accident from the backblast, you may knock them out still. That's happened to me several times. Now, if you're shot with a Panzerfaust in a moving vehicle by somebody outside of the vehicle, you take 20% less damage. I think if it's hit in the front, you're going to be probably taken out. And I think shooting different parts of the car is probably going to affect this, but it'll still be at 20% less damage across the board, I think. Panzerfaust sight deployment and sound is now louder and can be heard from farther away. So this part right here is basically to say, like, if you drop next to me in the next room, I'm going to be able to hear that deployment of the sight. Trunk weight 100 to 130. This is going to reduce how many people are keeping them in vehicles. The other day I saw that you could keep 2 Panzerfausts in an e-pickup in the UAZ, I believe. Dev comment. With update 38.1, we're applying a series of adjustments to SMGs and Panzerfaust. SMGs have been on a steady rise, and while we want to preserve their core strengths, low recoil and close range dominance, we felt their stability when firing from the hip without aiming over the shoulder or using scopes was a bit too strong. To address this, we've made changes to improve balance in those situations. We've also reduced the damage of the MP5K, which has shown a noticeably higher usage rate than other SMGs. Its time to kill will remain the same as close range, but you'll feel a clear increase in time to kill at longer distances. These changes are aimed at keeping SMGs an appealing choice for close quarters combat while maintaining healthy weapon variety across the battlegrounds. As for the Panzerfaust, which has long been known for its overwhelming firepower, we've introduced several penalties to its handling and damage potential. True to its nature, as a large heavy weapon, movement is now more restricted when it's equipped, adding a layer of risk to its use. We've also increased the sight deployment sound and reduced the damage it does to players inside vehicles, giving players more opportunities to respond to Panzerfaust attacks. I hope that this still takes out somebody in the BRDM. That is my one hope, is because I think that that's a good use of it, but, we'll see. Something else is, so everybody, we saw a huge uptick in usage for MP5K. This nerf is going to make other people, I think, use the other ones more. So I would suspect that there's a possibility that in future patches that the other SMGs see adjustments to damage. Because right now the MP5K saw a huge increase. But if people switch to the Vector or the Tommy gun, or the MP9 or the JS9, and those see huge increases because the damage reduction here isn't that much, we may see a nerf on those as well. So far, all of these changes, I think, are really good for the state of PUBG. And so these are changes I did not expect. I hoped, but I did not expect. So if they keep on this trend, other SMGs may see a nerf, damage-wise. This not 100%, but I could see that because this is getting nerfed, that it spills over into the other SMGs, and maybe one of those becomes dominant, and then they have to make adjustments. So we'll see. World. PUBG and G-Dragon themed decorations have been removed from the map. I you know, so something that I was talking about with this recently is that I don't think the G-Dragon was, at least in the NA environment, was as good as the previous collabs with K-pop stuff. However, I was saying is that it has when I was doing like Google searches and stuff, or like on social media, I was seeing a lot of G-Dragon like inquiry and stuff like that. So I think externally, I think it probably got a big hit. I think in NA it didn't. Miramar. The destructible terrain feature has been added. So if I remember correctly, at the beginning of the year, they said that destructible environments were coming to Tego, Miramar, and Erangel. So I think that we still have Erangel. I think we'll probably get 2 more patches by the end of the year. We'll probably see Erangel being added to destructible environment as well. Sorry, terrain. Destructible terrain. This is only the ground. This is not buildings. The frag grenade, mortar, panzer, C4, pickaxe, and vehicle explosion can destroy terrain. Rocky terrain is also destructible. Does not apply to ranked or custom match esport mode. Pickaxe has been added. Rocky terrain. Can you do this on the cliffs of Miramar? People you pick up there? Interesting. Dev comment. The destructible terrain feature that was first introduced on Rondo through update 29.1 is now available on Miramar. We've been gradually rolling out terrain destruction to multiple maps. With this update, players can now enjoy creating new cover strategies not only on Rondo, Sandok, and Tego, but also Miramar. These changes aim to bring Miramar's gameplay experience more in line with other maps. Please note that the destructible building feature, which currently exists only on Sandok, is not planned for other maps at this time. Right, that makes sense. Dustin. Destructible gas tanks have been added. I think that these should be added to all maps. I do like the smoke added in buildings. I don't think people are utilizing them yet. Maybe they need a visual upgrade to let people know. But I do like this. Ranked Season 38. The minimum performance expectations for each tier have been slightly lowered. Ranked weapon skin for the minimum performance expectations for each tier have been slightly lowered. Performance expectations. Oh, they made it easier. Ranked weapon skin for the P90 have been added as a tier reward permanent for Season 38. Something I was just recently talking about with someone is what is this? Gold, platinum, diamond. So platinum and diamond, they don't look that good, but the gold does, the crystal does. I think this is master and survival. So these ones look very plain, the diamond and platinum. Ranked leaderboard skin. Oh, right. The leaderboard will reset after the live server maintenance. Check out your final tier from the previous season through your career page. I say duh here, but honestly, they need to say that to make sure that everybody knows. Check out your final tier from the previous season through your career page. Vehicle camo netting has been added. Also applies to custom match esport mode. So this makes sense. Camo netting for esports and ranked makes sense. It's pretty much the only place that you use it. Pre-made party restrictions. The maximum division gap for pre-made ranked parties has been increased from 10 to 12. So now you can play with your friends less. So if you have friends that are lower ranked than you, they can't be 12 divisions. Also, wait, it's easier to play with your friends. Season 37 rewards. Rewards will be received based on your final tier from the previous ranked season. So we have animated emblems starting at platinum. And you get ranked weapon starting at gold, and you get a ranked parachute starting at gold. Before that, you get just emblems, just normal emblems. Then you start getting medals at platinum, and at master you get a master nameplate, and at survivor you get a survivor nameplate. The ranked parachute skin, weapon skin, and medals are permanent rewards. The rest of the obtained rewards are available for use during a single ranked season. Rewards can be found on your inventory edit profile page once season 38 starts. Once season 38 is over and server undergoes maintenance, every reward but the parachute, weapon skin, and medal will be withdrawn. I made it to platinum. I will get the skin and the parachute for the previous season. 37. Arcade. Wait, is this 37? Oh, yeah. Arcade, PUBG, and Skibidi Toilets. I don't know much about the Skibidi Toilet stuff, but I do know about the memes about it. For the upcoming spooky season, the popular internet show Skibidi Toilet visits the battlegrounds as a new arcade mode. I didn't know it was an internet show, so that's something that's weird. Defeat the hordes of Skibidi Toilets that have invaded Miramar. Make sure they never show their faces in our battlegrounds again. Check out the upcoming PUBG Skibidi Toilet announcement for full detail. Server period October 22nd to November 5th. This is pretty short-lived. It'll be consoles October 30th to November 13th. Custom match. The destructible terrain setting has been added to the Miramar map. The UGC alpha mode is no longer available. No! The training on some of those were so good. Observer. This is huge, actually. I really liked that. Okay, I didn't utilize it enough. New option can be found on the settings keybind spectate tab, introducing new features and a variety of improvements. New features, view match ranking. View match ranking for observer is great. Enabling the new view match ranking. Option displays ranking for kills, damage taken at the bottom center of the screen. That's awesome. PC search player also available in replay. So you can search players now in observer mode. You can now press Control F to search for a player's nickname and switch their screen. That's cool. Quality of life. The kill feed now stays on screen longer. I like it. The update kill feed design has been applied. Updated kill feed design. What does it look like? Do we have a visual of what the kill feed looks like? I don't know what that is, but I like it. Maybe this is only custom match. Darn it. Well, I'm not sure. The updated kill feed design has been applied. Display time of throwable trajectories has been shortened. This is definitely observer stuff. Improved the quality of visibility of key effects. Also applied to team deathmatch mode. Improve the ending sequence to make the winning team clear at the end of match. Or maybe this isn't. When the player being spectated is killed, the camera will now automatically switch to the killer. After a short delay, if there's no killer, the camera will move to the nearest character instead. Perfect. Improve so that the smooth free cam feature remains active when using move to save position hotkeys. You can now assign the save player hotkey while using the free cam. When a player assigned to a hotkey is eliminated, the hotkey will now be automatically reassigned to the next teammate or the killer. If the target already had a hotkey assigned, their assignment will be canceled. You can switch to the camera of the player who made the latest kill using the newly added switch to killer camera option. Added a new set minimap focus option, which allows you to center the expanded minimap on the camera position or the safe zone. You can now zoom in and out of the minimap using the N key. Adjusted the visibility range and display condition for player tags. The X-ray effect color display has been changed to reflect each team's unique color. Solo mode, all X-ray effects will appear in black. PC, you can adjust the colors through newly added set X-ray color option. A UI indicator is now displayed when a care package is empty. Waypoints are now more noticeable on the observer screen. Improve some healing item icons for easier distinction. Miscellaneous information about new items newly added to custom match. Esport mode is now displayed on the observer screen. The emergency cover flare, C4, and 40mm smoke grenades are now shown in the item information section. Change the default settings of certain options from disabled to enabled for better usability. Also, the smoke grenade timer option has been removed. In this update, we've made a broad improvements to the observer mode to enhance the esports viewing experience and support newly added content. We also focused on addressing inconveniences from past viewing experiences, improving observer usability for on-site esport broadcasting. With these changes, we aim to provide a smoother, more immersive viewing experience while conveying the flow of each match more clearly. If this is going to make esport viewing better, then I support it. I do enjoy watching esports workshop. New item sets have been added to the Hunter's chest and Archivist chests. So these are new items, it looks like. Oh no, the Survivor Passes let it snow, so that'll be the next one. It's crazy that this is already here, but hey. Contender. With the arrival of the second contender, Dorian, the contender system is also receiving several updates. Something I want to say about Dorian is I did a video on Dorian, so you can go and watch that video as well, kind of looking at what he's going to be. This looks like we'll have a better look at this. Well, maybe not better, but another. To better reflect each character's unique traits and appeal, contenders may have different body types from the default male and female characters. As a result, some outfits and items designed for default characters may not be available for contenders. Hitboxes will remain identical to those of the default characters. Okay, so the hitboxes remain the same, but they may look bigger. A new contender selection screen has been added, which can be accessed from the Workshop Contender tab. The previous main page of the Contender tab has been revamped into the Contender Room, where players can view, collect, upgrade, and customize their contenders. The Customize Character Contender tab has been removed. When using the Equip Random feature while a contender is equipped, random items will only be applied to slots available for the contender, and the contender will not be unequipped. Improved so that the various hair colors can now be applied to contenders. Interesting. After upgrading to the final form, you can now choose between the basic and final forms. In the workshopped regular crafting craft disassemble page, using the select duplicate feature will no longer include legendary tier or high items such as record files. In the workshopped regular crafting craft disassemble page, using the select duplicate feature will no longer include legendary tier or higher items such as record files. Weird. That's for when you're crafting, so you don't accidentally disassemble something that's too high. Special crafting. New contender related items have been added to contender crafting. Further details can be found in the October store updated announcement. Pass. Multi-pass system. Starting with update 38.1, the pass system has been revamped to allow up to 3 passes to run simultaneously. Each pass's level and XP are tracked independently. However, gameplay progress applies to multiple passes simultaneously. Survivor Pass. A brand new Survivor Pass is prepared for update 38.1. Read more details on October store update new announcements. So look, this is that one, but I thought Let's let it snow. So there's a survivor pass. And then here's another survivor pass. Is there 2 survivor passes? Or are they going to be both? Because this one has Christmas theme, and this one has more of like a Halloween theme. Event pass. Unlock special Skibidi Toilet themed items with new event pass Skibidi Toilet. Pass XP can be earned through completing the event pass missions as well as through your survival time. Mastery medal. Hey, new combat, survival, and battle royale medals that can be obtained through gameplay have been added. Oh, nice. UX UI. When a door is open, you can use either the interaction or secondary interaction key to close it, but the UI shows only the interaction key. The ranked season display UI has been redesigned and unified across the career and profile menus as well as ranked related pop-ups. The workshop special crafting contender crafting tab banner will now show the remaining time starting 30 days before the end date. Bug fixes. Gameplay. Fixing an issue where under specific conditions the gas can could not be destroyed with the Tommy gun. Weird. Fix an issue where death boxes would intermittently disappear when placed at doorways. Fix an issue where prone players were momentarily displayed as floating in midair. I've seen this. Fix an issue where the interaction UI did not appear when approaching a vehicle on the starting island after changing the outfit preset. Interaction UI did not appear when approaching a vehicle. Well, that's weird. Okay. Fix an issue where the laser effect on the blue chip tower was displayed abnormally under specific conditions, like shooting horizontally. Fix an issue where part of the reload animation played when quickly holstering and re-equipping the DP28 while reloading in the prone position. Fix an issue where the sound effect did not play when dropping a zipline gun cable. Fix an issue where bolts falling outside the playable areas remained alive until the end of the match. Bots. Fix an issue where an equipped backpack was not visible when wearing specific ghillie suits. World. Fix collision texture performance and some other general Miramar issues. Thank you, because there's a lot of places you crash into. Fix an issue on Karakin where gunfire sounds from other players do not play as intended depending on the player's location. That's good. Fix an issue on Karakin where the warning siren for the first black zone did not play. So this is correction. Karakin is just broken. Fix an issue on Karakin where the incoming sound of black zone missile did not play. Lovely. 3. Fix an issue where destroying terrain near the secret room in Tago caused the position of the secret room items to change. Yo, that's crazy. Fix an issue on Sandlock where players inside and outside a destroyed loot truck do not deal damage to each other through its broken parts. Dumb. Fix an issue on Miramar where players cannot deal damage to partially invisible characters when shooting at certain locations. UX UI. Fix an issue where under specific circumstances selected category, subcategory, customized character wardrobe did not match the displayed item list. Fix an issue where the character's pose briefly appeared on screen before transitioning from the end of the match screen to the lobby. Fix an issue where clan tags were not displayed between partner players with both had streamer mode enabled during party play. Fix a tooltip localization error for the Extinction Barrel M762 in the simplified Chinese language settings. Fixed a wording error in the activity warning message in training and team deathmatch mode when using the Korean language settings. PC. Fixed an issue where the report player pop-up would not close when clicking the report button on the match results screen in the custom match after a certain period of time. Console. Fixed an issue where in training mode certain area names were cut off when hovering over the world map in specific language settings. Items and skins. Alright, it's the last bit here. Clipping issue graphics that are shown outside the visible part of an image and object. Okay. Fixed an issue where the parts of upper body became transparent wearing Spy Gia's t-shirt and certain gloves. Fixed an issue where the hood appeared abnormally when the male character wore certain hoodies. Fixed an issue where the preview adjusted to hide incompatible items message did not appear when previewing the 3 Dinoland head items on the workshop regular crafting page while Contender Hannah was equipped. Fixed an issue where the PNC 2024 M416 weapon skin was not applied. Fixed an issue where, when worn by the male character, the hood of Lunchmeat's hoodie obstructed the view in ADS. Fixed an issue where the jacket of G-Dragon's piece Minusone outfit was displayed abnormally when worn together with certain masks. Fixed an issue where the thighs became transparent when wearing the Donut Mess With Me shorts and certain tops. Fixed a clipping issue around the thigh when the female character wore Grim Officer's skirt. Fixed an issue where the back portion of the hair was displayed abnormally when wearing the Manhunter hat with the Aespa Gizly appearance. Fixed an issue where the battle stat displayed name when selecting a regular weapon skin after previewing battle stat weapon skin. Battle stat display remained when selecting a regular weapon skin. Okay, I see. Fixed an issue where, under specific circumstances, the weapon slot position of the Survivor base and Desolate Warehouse custom lobby skins were displayed abnormally. Fixed an issue where the ankle became transparent when wearing the Smoke Stalker shorts with ripped leggings and G-Dragon stage shoes together. Fixed an issue where the Snow Slick glasses did not display properly Fixed a clipping issue when wearing the PNC 2023 striker shirt with Guanyo tracksuit top. Fixed an issue where, under specific conditions, the Medusa Barrel M762 with rare skin cosmetics appeared abnormal in ADS. Fixed an issue where the top parts of certain slippers were displayed abnormally when worn with certain pants. Fixed a clipping issue when wearing the Cozy Cub skirt with Barely Awake sweater. Fixed an issue where, when the female character wore certain pants, some decorations were not visible when adjusting the camera angle while seated. Fixed a clipping issue when wearing the tie-dye t-shirt with squad captain gloves. That is everything. Let's just do a quick rundown of everything that's happening. Okay? They've made adjustments to the vehicles, tinted windows, hitboxes, different places that you could shoot through the windows. Some vehicles didn't have that set up. I believe the Lambo maybe, like you couldn't shoot through the back window maybe. Recall system. It is now going to be shown in the kill feed and the match log. It is now going to end in phase 5. Phase 5 will be the last time you can recall your teammates. The blue chips will stack. It'll be 10 seconds for the first one, 5 seconds for the second one, and 5 seconds for the third one. So if you have 2 chips, it's going to take 15 seconds. If you have 3 chips, it's going to take 20 seconds. If you have 1 chip, it's going to take 10. So it's 10, 15, 20. Play. SMGs. SMGs have been nerfed. Accuracy primarily in the hipfire type. The type of shooting, right? That's where you're not ADS, aiming down sight. P90 wasn't as much so. MP5K received a damage nerf. Panzerfaust received a weight increase, a damage nerf to people in vehicles, to characters in vehicles, players in vehicles, whatever you want to say it. And then sprinting, jumping, and vaulting are unavailable. Miramar now has destructible terrain. You can put holes in the ground with various explosives. Destructible gas tanks on Destin. New skins to play for Season 38 will be P90s. Skibidi Toilet will be a new pass, arcade mode. There's a bunch of observer custom match, quality of life and improvements. They are now going to allow multiple passes to go on at once. It looks like there is a Let It Snow Survivor Pass, but down here there's also, it looks like there is a Halloween-based Survivor Pass. So I don't know if there's going to be 2 different Survivor Passes. There's also Contender, Dorian. There will also be 2 of his sidekicks. This is like a progressive type skin. We have the Event Pass, right, for Skibidi Toilet, new Mastery Medals, and a bunch of bug fixes and UI adjustments. This is a huge patch. This is actually, in my opinion, a really good direction for PUBG, allowing people to spend more money. I know a lot of people don't want that, but honestly, somebody has to pay to keep the game going. And here are, like, a lot of people complain about SMGs. Okay, SMGs are now being fixed. DMRs are not fixed currently. It looks like there's going to continue to be the way they are, which isn't terrible if you look at the stats, which I did a video on before. So basically what it looks like is mid-game, you have ARs, SRs, and DMRs being the dominant damage dealing. So it's about 30% each, with the remaining 10% being various other weapons. So about 20 minutes into the match, ARs are your dominant weapons. So basically early match, and then I assume these nerfs to SMGs are going to make it even more so. Early game SMGs will dominate, but then people will start transitioning to more mid to long range weapons later. So they have made changes that people have been asking for. I think these are changes also that are going to impact the esports play. I think that this warrants supporting them. When they make good decisions, we should support them. If, obviously you don't have to spend any money. Don't spend any money. But if you're going to, these are the times to do it. Is to do it when they're doing good things. Yeah, so I think that's everything. I hope this helps you see what's going on in the game. And yeah, I'll keep doing these. And I'll keep kind of throwing my opinions and refining it to make my style. But for the most part, this is how it's going to be for now. I'll read through it and then kind of give you some opinions. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and I'll talk to you later.